I'd like to take a few moments to share with you a brief history of Stanwich Church, recognizing that every one of you here is at some different stage of its legacy. Behind me, you're going to see three, here we go. First one here, pictures of the life of Stanwich Church. So this is a drawing, a rendering actually, of northern Greenwich. It was drawn some 240 years ago. And you can see Stanwich Church way over in the top right corner. I particularly like the phrase that's written on the top, our inheritance from those who toiled, wept, prayed, and harvest. This is the heart of Stanwich. Second picture is of the Revolution Gym. And this is a place that's very near and dear to my heart, and it's where the Stanwich service called The Gathering is held every single Sunday at 5:30. This, affectionately called the Stanford campus, not even a year old, is the result of obedience to the very clear calling the Lord had for Stanwich to expand its reach. Same church, different venue, legacy. The third is an aerial view of 208 Taconic, right next door to us over that fence. And this presents a very unique opportunity to expand Stanwich yet again. Missing, of course, is a picture of where we are right now, but clearly God is in the business of kingdom building. Stanwich Church is never static. God has been using us faithfully to serve Him, to reach lost and hurting people here and around the globe with the good news of Jesus for nearly 300 years, and it continues. So today I would like to speak to you about legacy. Where is God leading us? And where does He want us to go, and what does He want us to do? In the purchase of 208 Taconic, I believe the answer is a lot. Or as it says in Ephesians, exceedingly more than we can ever ask or imagine. 10 years ago, God expanded this church's influence by giving us this very land. The old church was crumbling, and it was clear that we needed a new church home. And God provided in a big way. Those who were part of that huge endeavor gave generously, in some cases even sacrificially. And so where we sit is the result of that generosity. At the time of this transition, I was living in Reading, which did not make for an easy commute to Stanwich, so I only came a few times to worship at the old church. But I remember quite distinctly that my last Sunday at Stanwich was spent at an all-church picnic celebration, some of you might have been there, held on this very ground. The excitement was infectious, people were involved, they were united, they were together. 3 years later, having moved closer to Greenwich, I came back to the new Stanwich, and I was overwhelmed at the beauty and charm of what we now call home. I missed and I was sorry to be part of all that excitement, going from old to new, small to large, but it was really wonderful to be back. What hadn't changed, however, was the warm, loving, and caring atmosphere that has always marked Stanwich. And for those of you who may be new to Stanwich or relatively new, I'm quite sure you know what I'm talking about. Joy is infectious. I became a member soon after, and without sounding trite, my life never has been the same. To be a part of and involved in a Christ-centered church is a privilege. Stanwich Church is alive with God's grace. It's always seeking ways to serve, most recently with the launch of this gathering in Stanford. And while we seek God for a permanent home for this campus, we wait. As of yet, no doors have been opened for the purchase of any property. But if that door has been shut, another has been opened in ways only God could create, the purchase of 208 Taconic. I am so excited to be part of this growing legacy, to see Stanwich grow yet again. So what can we do with this property next door? There are lots of things, but I'll name just a few. First, it can provide a permanent home for our second associate pastor, whose heart has from the absolute get-go been committed to developing strong and intimate bonds with so many. 208 can serve as a means to deepen those bonds and reach further into the community with Bible studies, special teachings, and the like, in an atmosphere that only a private home could provide. Second, some of those spare bedrooms could be a welcoming place to house and mentor interns who might not otherwise afford to live here. Ditto for visiting missionaries or guest speakers. The possibilities are endless. Finally, the purchase of 208 provides us with the flexibility to expand physically. Current real estate ordinances disallow any form of expansion to our existing property. This footprint is completely maxed out. But 208 would create opportunity for new growth with additional acreage. There will always be ministry needs at Stanwich and always opportunities for growth. But growth in our own backyard, this is a gift, one that can be enjoyed by us and for future generations of Christ followers at Stanwich, a legacy. I really hope you've caught the same vision that I have, and I hope that you can imagine, as did those Stanwich congregants 200 plus years ago, the wondrous things that God can accomplish when the hearts of his people are on fire to serve him wherever that may be. We need to raise $1 million by mid-May, with the balance to be pledged over a 3-year period. This is a lofty endeavor, but I believe, as do many of you, that this is God-directed and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. 208 DeConnick Road will be sold, but why not to Stanwich? For the kingdom. We've received a number of pledges to date, but we still have a ways to go. I know it would be easy to look around and say, let the other guy do it. But the truth is, I'm the other guy, and you're the other guy. So if you're being called to give, please listen to that voice and give generously. There are no small gifts, by the way. Just give what God would have you to give, whatever the amount. In front of you, you should see some pledge cards that highlight all the salient points regarding contribution options. There are also similar things outside in the Emmaus Hall. Please take one home as a tangible reminder to be a part of this historic chapter of Stanwich, the continuing legacy at Stanwich, and one that will bless us and further generations to come. Thank you.